It's Elite POV, coming live to your area on twitch.tv.
Let's fucking go!
We are your number one place for everything in the world of all elite wrestling. And just remember, when you're with us, you'll always be elite.
Yo, it's clear to see when you open up your feed that ain't nobody better than Elite POV. We bring the heat to your screen every week, cause ain't nobody better than Elite POV. So understand every time that we speak that ain't nobody better than Elite POV. Our 3 letters is all you'll ever need, cause ain't nobody better than Elite POV. What's up, everybody, and welcome to Elite POV, where it's podcast time, and you know what that means. I'm one of your hosts, Phil Cataldo, but you can call me Philium, and welcome to the celebration we've all been waiting for, the official Powerbomb Me Next Day, Wardlow's World. Our guy Wardlow is the
Step
new
on me, Wardlow.
champion. Welcome to the show. Let me introduce my beautiful, wonderful co-host, the man you heard right there, the producer, the Canadian Prince, the man with the biggest thighs in all of Canada,
That's so
Mr.
big.
Kyle Masters. What is up?
It's how Niagara Falls was created, because of my thighs. They just clapped together. They created a
together.
rift.
It's upside down. That's what happened. That's exactly
I'm doing
what
all
happened.
right. It's actually my second podcast of the day. I was
Ooh, what was the first?
I was asked to go on a Fightful Select show, so I was behind
Nice.
the $5 Patreon wall. I got behind that wall.
Hey.
KyleSelect.com. Sign
Coming
up.
soon. You might not get anything, but you can pay me $5.
Yeah, just pay me $5.
So now I got to be on Coexisting After Dark with Maggie and Rob. Those two are like unreal human
Nice.
beings. They basically just asked me like questions like about everything. We talked about wrestling. We talked about my life, everything like everything other than wrestling is really cool. But that's behind the paywall. So make sure you go give Sean Rassat $5 so you can listen to that and get more shit.
We joke, we kid. Fightful Select is
It's unreal.
It's great. For
Yeah.
$5,
It
you
is.
get so much. You get all the news. You get a lot of great shows on there. So if you guys aren't already, make sure FightfulSelect.com and give them some money. You could afford $5, right? You could afford $5. And the other amazing co-hosts we have 10-star Jackie R, the heart and
10.
soul of Elite POV. Miss Jackie Rodriguez, what is up?
What is up? Y'all just popped the hell out of me in the first 5 minutes of the damn show. This is freaking hilarious. And if you're gonna introduce Kyle, introduce him right. I gave him a great moniker the other day. I called him Thyle Masters,
Oh,
and I
God.
think that
Masters.
is my greatest pun work of all time.
Mhm.
My thighs did not create Niagara Falls, but it's but I'll take the 10-star Jackie R moniker. It's Friday. I'm having a good time. I don't have my tequila here. We did say we were going to take some shots for FTR being the longest reigning #1 contenders in AEW history, but
In professional sports history.
but water will suffice, I guess. But yeah, we're here, and we're glad you're here in the live chat.
And if you guys are in the live chat right now, twitch.tv/ElitePOV. Make sure you guys are here in the live chat every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern. We come live, except for this week. We pushed it to Friday because we were busy yesterday. But don't worry, if you're missing it live, youtube.com/ElitePOV. You find all of our video replays. And if you want us on podcast, we are available anywhere that you get your podcast. And speaking of $5, we have our own Patreon, patreon.com/ElitePOV, if you guys want to support us. And any way you can. You see the tiers are up there right now. So we appreciate the people. We have a lot of Patreons in the live chat right now. We have a lot of people show us a lot of love. And we definitely appreciate that. And if that's not your thing and you want to support us with some merch, ElitePOVmerch.com. We have some great t-shirts up there. All those beautiful designs that you're seeing right now. Go get there, get them, because somehow, in some way, eventually Tony Khan's going to tell us where the fuck when these tickets for All Out go, because we're pretty sure it's in Chicago.
Are we sure?
Just need to know when they're going on sale
Okay.
and where to book the hotel room.
I was so sure up until it was announced this week. Now I'm like, now they got me all fucked up. Now they got me all fucked up. Now they announced that the post show is in Buffalo, so I'm like, why isn't it Buffalo? Why isn't it Buffalo?
Man, it is confusing.
What
times.
is 1 hour up the highway from Buffalo, Toronto?
Yeah.
I know. Stop yelling, Kimmy. Stop yelling. Turn your cap locks off. Who types in cap locks? What's wrong with you? What are you, a boomer? Only boomers type in cap locks.
Gen Zers.
Anyways, I know it's Chicago. I'm just saying, like, I was like, they announced that so they announced the post Dynamite, when the tickets are going to go on sale for that. They announced at Forbidden Door Grand Slam when the tickets are going to go on sale for that. But they still haven't announced the venue and when tickets will be on sale for All Out. And it's literally 2 months away.
They're just messing with us at this point.
And the crazy thing is, like,
crazy.
The crazy thing, and it's why, for anybody who's listening to this, if you're getting annoyed with my constant tweets about it, here's my reasoning behind it. It is Labor Day weekend. Okay? Right? Is it Labor Day?
Yes.
Yeah, Labor Day weekend.
It is.
And off rip from day one, if you bought those tickets in fucking January, they're already more expensive because it's a holiday weekend and you're flying into a major city at a major airport. So they're already going to be expensive. Now you add on to the fact that it's last minute because, I mean, I know people are like, just buy the tickets, but it's like, I'm not trying to have to go through the hassle of canceling airline tickets because last minute, you know,
and we're booking as a group.
12-hour,
these people are booking by themselves. We're booking as
that's another thing too. We're trying to book as a big group to stay in one place, whether that's an Airbnb, whether that's a hotel. We would need multiple rooms. Like, it's not as easy as just booking it. And the whole thing is why we really need to know when the tickets are going on sale is because we're working with a budget. You guys have supported us, you know, over the past year almost with Patreon and our merch and all this stuff. And that money is getting directly put into our All Out trip. And we want to give you guys the best content possible when we're out there. But with that being said, we are working with a budget, right? So we have to get the tickets first to see what the rest of the budget is like so we can figure out where we're staying. But we don't know. Like, we know July 22nd is the tickets for Grand Slam. Wonderful. Awesome. That's on a holiday weekend. So if you're flying out of town, like if Kyle flies in for that, which we hope, it's not a holiday weekend. It's a random weekend in September. It's not that big of a deal, or week in September. But this is the issue that I'm having. So every time, it's going to be the 4th. It's going to be on Dynamite. Now I'm seeing rumors or people like, it's going to be at Fyter Fest next week. I don't give a shit when it is. Just announce it, please. And don't be like,
should have been already announced by now.
Don't announce it on a Wednesday. But don't do the other thing too of announcing it on a Wednesday and then selling the tickets on a Friday. Because then it means the pre-sale is going to be on Thursday, which means it is going to be an absolute fucking disaster. Because everyone's going to be rushing just to get it, and all the resellers that are going to buy the ticket, it's just going to be a mess.
I think we got to know that it has to be United. It's got to be United Center. AEW is way too hot right now to book the Now Arena.
Especially, you know, we saw on Dynamite teasing heavy of Bucks FTR 3. So if you're doing that type of match, you need to do that in the biggest building you can.
Yeah, if
right?
If it's going to be for all the titles.
Yeah, like that's a huge deal. And then, you know, if the rumors that Punk might be back, like there's a lot of stuff in the air that could happen. Maybe Kenny's back, you know, who knows? But it's like
Punk may be back.
To be in the Union Center.
Apparently he's doing I know we always touch base on the news to begin with. Punk, there's rumors that Punk might be back early. He's doing very good, so who knows? Again, it's a wait and see kind of thing.
But those are the rumors that a lot of people are kind of saying, the conversation starters, that, maybe they're waiting to see if Punk is back. Because if Punk is back, they obviously want to have like the homecoming of him being in Chicago. And if he's not, maybe they look to go somewhere else. But it's too late. We're in, you know, the first week of July. By the time Fyter Fest is going to be the second week of July, like we got to start speeding this thing up. Because, you know, like our great friend Carrie is coming from another country. So she has to do people have to get passports and make sure everything's good to go and book all these things before they come into this country. You know, especially with
Like
how
they've been
hard
hanging-
travel still is.
They've been hanging the damn WrestleMania sign size poster in the arenas for like the last 2 weeks. Like, okay, but then where is it? Like,
They're
even
just
if you're like,
teasing us.
even if they were like, listen, tickets go on sale fucking August 15th, right? Tell us now so we can prepare and we can be like, all right, 3 of us need to be on computers and phones and fucking, you know what I mean? We have to send Jackie to 1 hour teas in Chicago to fight somebody for a line to get these tickets. Like,
I just like, oh, we gotta know. And like someone, shouts to Finn Balor guy on Twitter. He did some digging, and he saw that there's a convention center that's in between the Now Arena and O'Hare Airport that's booked for, and it shows AEW All Out
the
Fan Fest.
Shamberg convention center or whatever.
Yeah, it's booked this September for the Fan Fest. So,
which is like, okay, cool, right? We see Kimmy has been telling us every day it's in Chicago. Fine, it's in Chicago. We know it's in Chicago. But like, please tell us when the tickets go
That's
on
what
sale.
our tweets are. People are always like, oh, we know it's in I'll send a tweet out too, and they'll be like, "Oh, it's in Chicago." I'll be like, I know it's in Chicago. If you read the tweet,
would be like,
I put venue.
For example, right? For people who don't understand the difference in when the venues are located, right? New York, a lot of people know a lot about New York, right? Imagine if you're like, oh, it's in New York, but the venue is up by me in Hudson Valley, which is about an hour and a half out of the city, or in Manhattan. Like, that changes where you're going to book your hotels.
Yeah, like
that's
Jackie,
basically what it's like, a 45-minute difference.
Yeah, if you look at the layout here, Jackie's O'Hare Airport, okay? Phillium is the Now Arena. The Elite POV logo is the United Center. We need to know which way from the airport we're going to go.
Yeah. Are we going left? All right. Are we going towards the Union Centers where there's 8,000 hotels and Airbnbs and places to stay? Or are we going towards a Now Arena where there's like a La Quinta Inn and maybe somebody renting out the garage?
We're living
like,
in the bayou. We're going in the bayou
tumbleweed.
out there. We're gonna rent out
Jesus
someone's back porch to stay at.
We need to know these things. But everybody, fingers crossed in the chat. Hopefully sooner than later, because man, they're making me not want to go. They're like pushing this to the point where I'm like, Jesus Christ.
I just don't understand how last year we knew at Double or Nothing. That's when they showed the commercial for All Out.
Yeah.
We at least knew it was in Chicago. Even if they don't announce the ticket sales, tell us where it is.
If he announces Full Gear before All Out, I'm going to Jacksonville. I'm fist fighting Tony Khan. I'm fist fighting him.
Swear to God.
And he was like, Full Gear's coming in Newark.
If we get a Full Gear commercial next week during Fyter Fest, I'm going to lose it.
Fighting. All right.
We got a Revolution. Then we got a Revolution commercial on part 2 of Fyter Fest.
Oh my God, yeah. Revolution next year, tickets go on sale November 6th. Like, all right, or whatever. But with all the complaining aside, it was a great episode of Dynamite, as we all come to expect. And we're going to start off with what the show is titled, the graphic you see in the corner here. And that is Wardlow's World, because it starts off with Wardlow versus Scorpio Sky for the TNT Championship in a no-holds-barred match, right? That's what it was? Hardcore match? No-holds-barred match?
It was?
Street fight, yeah.
It was a street fight, yeah.
Even though Wardlow didn't do anything, but it was a great match. And I'm very happy as, one of the first Wardlow fans that I know. Shout out to Carrie, me and her, starting this thing off, right? I'm very happy for him seeing one of my guys win. But Jackie, what do you think of all this? Because I know you're a big Wardlow fan too.
No, it was actually a little bit unexpected for me in a way. And it's only because like looking over Scorpio Sky's TNT reign, it was interesting because at some point, I think that he was suffering from an injury and he wasn't really out there defending the title so much. So I was like, are they going to find a way to stall this out and maybe continue the feud and have them kind of have a little bit more by terms of more matches and stretch it out? And I didn't know that they were going to really go for it at this moment, but I ain't mad at it. It's really cool to see Wardlow get his moment. I think he has a lot of momentum behind him right now. He has felt like he has had a lot of star power and a lot of untapped potential throughout his feud with MJF. All of this, like, it's really great to see this completely homegrown star, you know, and his ascension and his rise to the top. So this is going to be his first singles title in AEW. I'm very interested to see where they're going to take this now. Because up until this point, it's been a lot of squash matches and stuff like that. I want to see him go on a real tear where he's having real matches and real feuds. And I'm very happy for him. It seems to be like a big moment. And yeah, it's Wardlow's world now, baby. So I'm excited.
So I see a lot of people talking in chat. Yeah, it was a street fight. I think the stipulation was just honestly so the American top team guys could attack them and not be like a DQ or something.
I was so confused. I don't even remember them announcing that.
They didn't use weapons. They didn't use crazy. Scorpio said it when it was first announced to him, but they didn't really kind of highlight it. It was just a way to get out of the fact that American top team was going to attack them. But Kyle, what do you think about all this? Are you happy that Scorpio dropped the title so soon after getting out of the feud that never ended with Sammy?
Yes and no. Yes, in terms of like we know it's not going to go to someone who can't do anything with the belt or it feels too soon. I think Wardlow, it's been a long time coming for him to get some sort of belt. We kind of knew it was going in that direction. But yeah, like you mentioned, like being like you and Carrie being the first fans of Wardlow. Like I my previous podcast that I used to do, like I remember when he first came in and I was like, man, this guy literally has like ultimate potential. And like I remember like saying like, oh my God, like this guy literally just has 2,000 followers on Twitter. Like they literally plucked this guy from like the really crappy indies.
Britt Baker.
Yeah.
Britt Baker found him in a promotion in Pittsburgh. Yeah. He was working at her home promotion in Pittsburgh and she brought him to them.
And then brought him in. Now look what he's just keeps transcending every year. And now he's the face of TNT. And that's huge for like TNT to promote, right? You think about like TNT promoting who their champion is. Like Wardlow's got he's got the look of like a larger than life athlete as their champion. So in terms of promotion and business wise, it's a massive sell. Not saying that Scorpio Sky wasn't, but I believe Scorpio Sky will probably have another attempt at it eventually down the line. But right now it's Wardlow's time. I think they're going to do some great things with him as TNT champion. I think we're just going to get a bunch of like little feuds here and there. Hopefully this leads to like a really big feud at All Out for that TNT belt. I mean, it's too early to tell because like they literally just won the belt and they might continue doing things with American Top Team. Maybe Ethan Page tries to win it back for America's Top Team, and then Ethan Page has a program with Wardlow for a bit. But yeah, I was happy with it. I enjoyed the match, and it worked out. I don't know. I really didn't have any issues with it. I know a lot of people say like it was a short title reign for Scorpio Sky, and I know like the TNT belt could be booked a little bit better. It's been a really weird year for that TNT belt. With the flip-flopping from before with Sammy Guevara, but they finally kind of gotten themselves out of that. So now it looks like they can finally... I think with Wardlow, we can go back to the TNT belt being what it used to be, that belt where it was a fighting champion's belt, and we're going to have some great matches with it. So,
no, and I do think that if you kind of look at things logically, right, when Sammy beat Miro and he got... his little time to be champion, and then they did the flip-flop with him and Cody, and then Cody ends up leaving when they were trying to re-sign him, and then they give the belt back to Sammy. So on the way out, Cody puts over Sammy, and then the stuff happens where the crowd turns on Sammy and Ty because they announced their relationship. They announced Tony Khan has whatever reason of deciding to put them together on TV, which stops both of their momentums, which sucks. And then that goes haywire. And then all the stuff with like injuries and this and that, and then American Top Team. And they don't want to bring Paige VanZant in yet for whatever reason. And then they finally do. Like, it's such a mess. And Scorpio, people love Scorpio. I love that he was calling the title Genie after Jeanie Buss, the owner of the Lakers. And we had the Laker colors, and it was so much fun. But like, he was damaged goods right now. Because right now, when you see Scorpio, he's with American Top Team. People are kind of annoyed with Dan Lambert. And the whole stuff with Sammy, I feel like people were just over it. But like you said, Kyle, you give it to Wardlow, you kind of right the ship, you get it back to a point where like Wardlow was already on TV damn near every week. So that's what that TNT title used to be. It used to be defended frequently. And when you have a babyface champion, they can come out and be like, open challenge and challenge anybody. And other thing that Kyle said too, TNT gets to promote him, right? Wardlow looks great in the suit. They could throw him out there. He could do media. He could do press. He's very well spoken, right? So I think it looks great for the company. And I'm super hyped because it's my boy. It's all of our boys, right? Like it's a homegrown talent, another homegrown talent.
Yes,
the AEW has made. So this is really cool. And shout out to the fact that he won a title before fucking Moneybags MJF over there. So that's what happens.
Speaking of,
fucking show up and do your job.
Speaking of, did you see the interview or did you see the quotes from the interview that Wardlow recently did? And he got asked about MJF,
No.
or he quote saying that. Basically said the whole time he was with MJF pissed him off, and that like he went. It's tough to read it as you can read it two ways. One way you can be like, oh my god, so like he really was pissed off at MJF, like the whole thing, the whole stuff he did with him, and then you can look at it from another perspective, like is this adding to the quote unquote work that might still be happening? We really don't know. I know Tony Khan's been blocking people tweeting at MJF at him, so I don't know what's going on there. Tony Khan's been coming out to his press releases saying, like, right at the beginning, no questions about MJF at all. Please don't ask; it won't be answered. So it's either the greatest work of all time, or MJF's really a piece of shit, and Wardlow hated his entire thing with him the whole time he's been in AEW. It's
possible, right? It's. I mean. This is the one thing I always say, like, where I think kayfabe in wrestling, we're so past that. Like, I get storylines, but like we're smart enough as viewers, especially with like Marvel movies out there, where like everybody from a little kid to like our grandparents are going to see these Marvel movies. So it's like we can understand that these are actors playing characters and stuff. So like, I don't know. I'm just happy Wardlow's champion and he's away from all that. And shout out to the Pinnacle picture. And I wish Sean Spears was there because we love Sean Spears, right? But the fact to see all our Pinnacle guys, like or at least three of them, all holding championships is really cool.
I think they're on vacay. Yeah. Actually, I think him and Cassie are on vacay. I'm pretty sure.
Are they?
I think.
Good for him, man.
Well, I mean, he might be back now because
so he should just come. He should just come to the show and have his arm around his fucking hot wife. Like, yo, I'm with fucking with Cassie over here.
Oh my God.
You're right with the whole like now like we. You know, people don't fret about what's going on with MJF. Like, who cares? Leave that aside until something does eventually happen.
Yeah, Phil. Shut your mouth, Phil. All right.
Just focus on now and focus on Wardlow being a champion now. We're actually going to get a good run. It looks like they're resetting the theme of the belt, like meaning that it's going to be a belt that's
they went back to the black title.
Yeah.
Which honestly, so before we move on from this, are you guys shocked? And I'll start with you, Jackie. Are you shocked that after Wardlow was mentioning of like Brody Lee and like what the title meant, that they didn't go back to the red design? Are you shocked they would? I thought they were going to go back to red. Maybe it was just me.
Think so.
Didn't Tony Khan say they retired that one?
I was going to say, I wouldn't say shock, only for the fact that it's like maybe they're done with that. It's like it should remain as his legacy. I don't think. Okay. Yeah, I don't think they should revisit that, and it should remain Brody's title and just leave it at that. And then like Kyle said, I thought that they gave that title to -1 and just said like, this is yours now. And
that's cool. That's cool. I mean, like, the black title is beautiful. They're all beautiful. Just the way they
can't see him getting a custom
everybody.
One, right? Because like Wardlow really doesn't have a color scheme, right? He kind of just, I feel like with him you just keep
he has that green and black kind of thing going.
I think you just keep it.
Yeah, but like he doesn't really have anything that's like Wardlow, you know what I mean? Like his kind of like, I think the black title would look cool.
Yeah
Until someone else wins it that has like a theme to them, and you keep it the black.
It has like
red.
something about him. Yeah. Now the other big thing that everybody's talking about from last night is Christian and Luchasaurus's promo in the ring. Kyle, I want to start with you. Christian, a very, very, very beloved Canadian, is saying a lot of crazy things in these promos, and a lot of people on Twitter actually brought up a pretty good point that I wanted to talk about with you guys.
I know where you're going with that.
So in WWE, when Jeff Hardy was in the feud with Sheamus, they leaned heavily on the fact that Jeff Hardy has all these issues, and a lot of people, including me, had a problem with the way they were going about it. But now that Christian is doing it, and especially what Christian was saying about Jungle Boy's father, and now what he's saying about Jeff Hardy's issues to Matt Hardy. Do you have an issue with this, or do you feel like they're kind of attacking it from a different angle, Kyle?
So like I know where people are coming from. Yes, like it's like I hate that they do that. Like it's I think they could have done something with that promo maybe a little better without bringing Jeff or really heavily leaning into that. Because I think without the Jeff Hardy lines, the promo still came across as okay. Like it still came across like they could have just dug deep and like you could have just made Matt Hardy about like their Fed stuff, right? They could have just brought back some Fed feud or made fun of him with the whole Lita scandal. Like you know, you could have dove into something else.
But he did. He mentioned like the stuff with Matt Hardy using his family and like the final deletion stuff, and
it's just the when you dip into like him and his like health issues, it kind of puts a sour taste on, I guess, people that are going through that or no family that are going through that. So it kind of hits a little different. It is a tough subject to do. Again, I really, really enjoyed the promo. Again, it took me listening after and like, okay, wait, maybe they could have done without that. And I understood. They could leave it out, I think. I think they could leave it out and still come across as a really good promo.
So Nate in the chat is bringing up a good point. So far, it's been one line instead of the whole feud revolving around it. So that's a little different. Maybe that's a way to look at it. Whereas, like, I mean, we'll see, right? We'll see over the next couple of weeks. What does that mean? But as of right now, it's just a line in a promo, and it's not like a storyline where like Sheamus is trying to get Jeff Hardy to drink or whatever that.
Yeah, like I see that. Yeah, it's weird that they're going in the Matt Hardy direction. I don't know what's going. Is Jungle Boy hurt? Like, why haven't we? Are they?
He is hurt. I think we heard that he's hurt, but
okay. So it's part. I thought it was going to be just either he's hurt or this part of storyline. They're just keeping him away, and then there's going to be some big return. So yes, okay. If he's
big
hurt,
hero moment.
So in the meantime, this is okay then. Just to keep. I think it's a good. It's. I'm not saying it's good that Jungle Boy's hurt, but this is a good way to build this. Christian, this heel Christian with the black turtleneck. And the demonic like Luchasaurus is a good way to build that until the Jungle Boy return. Because as soon as that return happens, as soon as that theme song hits when he does return, that's going to be the big freaking massive pop. We know it's going to be insane. So, but we'll go to Jackie. Jackie, what did you think of it?
I mean, it is a delicate line to toe, honestly, because it's something that is still relatively, like Astrid said in the chat, it's still something relatively fresh that still happened. I try to think about a lot of these situations as these are things that are discussed prior to them going out there and doing these promos. Like, they're not just going out there, and Christian's not blindsiding Matt Hardy with this and like, I'm going to go out there and stick it to him and I'm going to talk about his brother and just like, completely shock the world just for like, these are things that they say like, hey, is it okay if I talk about this and this? Are you cool if I say this? You would assume that that's the route that they go. So it has to be cleared. It has to be so, now is Jeff and his family okay with it? Are they approving this kind of stuff? I don't know how far back that's going. So you have to kind of wonder about that. But like you said, it's a subject matter that is delicate to people who might be going through it. But let's be realistic. If you're looking to professional wrestling for some kind of moral compass, it's probably not the place.
You're looking at the wrong thing, man.
You're looking at the wrong, it's been known to push boundaries since the beginning of time. It's meant to push the envelope, make you feel uncomfortable. Heels are just, they exist to really piss you off and to really get a rise out of you, and Christian is doing that brilliantly at this point. I don't think he's pushed it into territory where it's like brutal yet. He's not in that MJF territory per se, like where he's like really digging into like really did he have to say that? He's not getting into Dan Lambert territory, like Jesus Christ. But he's doing it in a way where it's just enough to like be like, damn, like he had to be that savage, but still with it's still in pocket, I think.
And Christian's a well-respected veteran, so it's you know it's going somewhere. It's leading to something, and in reality, this whole thing is just going to get Jungle Boy even more over as a babyface. So
Yeah.
we might have to grit our teeth and get through some of this stuff. I mean, but Christian's doing great. The promo was great. They made Luchasaurus look like a badass. I keep joking every week to Kyle and Jackie when we watch the shows, like, what if Christian's like, what do you got to say, Lucha? And he's like, bleh.
So where do you think the story, obviously, clearly the story is going to lead to a Christian versus Jungle Boy match. Do you guys think that we're going to get Jungle Boy versus Luchasaurus, or is that a match that's not going to happen? And it's more of like Jungle Boy is going to try to turn him back.
The match has to happen. I think we have to get Luchasaurus.
So what's the bigger
Jungle
match?
Boy.
Christian. I think Luchasaurus, he has to beat Luchasaurus to get to Christian.
That's also
kind of like you
match,
have to like, yeah. But like it's an emotional match to get to even more emotional one of a guy that was like threatening your mom and sister on TV.
They could save that for like the Go Home show. Like that could main event the Go Home show if they really wanted it.
Jungle Boy versus Luchasaurus.
Yeah, and if Jungle Boy wins, he gets Christian at All Out. Like that
is
yeah, or the Rampage.
Listen, if they want to make us cry before they even make these all-out tickets go on sale, I'm all for it.
I've done enough crying with TV shows lately. All right, I'm all cried out.
Yeah, right. After Stranger Things and Kenobi, we're all cried out. Speaking of something else that was pretty emotional at this show, so obviously, since we've last been here, Alan Angels is no longer with the company, and Stu Grayson also no longer with the company. So there's been a lot of reports of what's next for Dark Order. All right, are they going to break them up? Are they going to bring in a leader? We don't know yet. But the one thing we do know is the show this week, Dynamite, was in Rochester, New York, which is of course the hometown of Brody Lee and Amanda Huber and Negative One by proxy, right? And Nolan. So the Brody's family has very big ties in Rochester, so they always try to do something cool. That was a show that Brody Lee, for people who don't know, was supposed to debut in before the pandemic came and ruined everything. We know the last time we were there, that's where we saw Amanda come out with Negative One and like get the Dark Order to come back together. So Dark Order has a reunion in the ring. They come out. It's 10, Uno, Silver Reynolds, and Anna Jay with Negative One. They come out, they cut a promo and saying Dark Order is forever. So Jackie, how cool was this seeing it? And what are your hopes for what's going to happen in the future with Dark Order?
It was really cool to see because there's been a lot of uncertainty with this group in particular. We haven't seen as much of them. They've seemed kind of directionless. And with some of the releases that have kind of gone on quietly in the background, it's like, oh my gosh, like, are they going to just silently phase this group out? This group that was such a beloved part of AEW. So to see them kind of come together in a place that is so significant to this group, it is emotional in a way. And I love moments like that where you're allowed to feel that emotion and, having Negative One out there, and you could see like in his little face, even though he's masked up, like you could see that he's, getting overcome with emotion as well.
Yeah.
And having, that moment with Hangman Adam Page coming out there, even though it's like he's not quite part of the group anymore, like he's not an official member, but him coming out there in solidarity to defend them against, of all freaking people, QT Marshall. Like, what the hell? Why are we
he's a heat
doing
magnet.
this?
He's like the perfect
person.
person.
QT coming out and mentioning Brody. Oof.
Yeah, like it was like really. What are we doing here? But Hangman kind of giving the subtle nod to Negative One, and you could see like it kind of looked like he had a little bit of like the little tears in his eyes. I'm like, oh, who's cutting onions in here? Because it's just all around. It's just one of those moments that just like makes you feel very proud to be a fan. And I just thought it was a really cool segment.
Yeah, Hangman teared up, and all of us teared up right there with him because they did like the perfect zoom in, right, of just his face, and you see his eyes watering. Like, damn, that got me so much. But yeah, dude, QT Marshall, Kyle,
heat magnet.
Heat magnet, bro. We were talking about Christian, with the stuff that he was saying. Like, man, QT come out and came hard. It's like, wow.
They've built
bro.
They built QT in the factory as like the perfect go-to when you need a really big heel to put over a baby face in any situation. Like they used QT in the factory at Forbidden Door in that pre-show to put over the New Japan guys because they knew that QT in the factory would be like heat magnets. They would get booed, and they do it on Dark and Elevation as well. So now look, they're using it on Dynamite and stuff. Like it's perfect. Like QT plays the perfect snotty, just stick up his ass heel when he comes out in the mic and just absolutely destroys the other person. Like it's perfect, I think. And they play into the comedic factor too. I've seen on Dark and Elevation, like QT, I think had like his pants down running around the ring. They were showing a footage of something like that. But man, just like I love the whole Dark Order reunion thing. That's good. I saw something interesting. What Uno was wearing. I don't know if it's been a shirt for a while, but his shirt was two faces. It was half of his and half of 10's, and it said 10 plus 1. So like, are they a tag team now?
It came out this week actually.
So like Dark Order is basically two tag teams. You have Silver and Reynolds, and then you have 10 and Uno, technically one. So I don't know. I think we'll see it obviously stays together for now. Uno's got, someone mentioned in chat, Uno's got really ultimate job security because he does so much more in the company than just
he's
wrestling.
the host of AEW Games.
Yeah.
He's the one who hosts that on their YouTube channel and stuff. So, but that's the cool thing about AEW. For if anybody who doesn't know, the way they offer more job security and health insurance, unlike any other wrestling company, is there's opportunities within the job that they kind of hire from within, right? We know Aubrey works on the mobile side of AEW Games. We know like Christopher Daniels is talent relations. We know like, a bunch like Leva Bates, the librarian.
Mega's
all that.
doing the video console game. Like he's helping out with that.
Yeah, he's doing the video game. Well, he's also an EVP, but like with Leva Bates, like I don't know what she does now, but she was Brandy's assistant. So like there's jobs within the company.
Apparently she's staying. I read somewhere she has the same job title even after Brandy leaving. She didn't leave. She's like an assistant backstage.
Okay. And she also helps to run AEW Heels with Aubrey. So.
Okay. Yeah, then like Sean Dean, right? Everybody knows and loves the captain. Sean Dean. He's the one who books Dark and Elevation. So like there's jobs within the company. So Uno does AEW Games. I can see Adam Cole probably sliding into that role at some point, kind of hosting the shows because they play a lot over there.
Oh, but he was part of.
It is cool to see that they're attacked.
Yeah, because Cole was a big part of Up Up Down Down while he was in the Fed. So like over here, obviously be a big part of AEW Games. He's been appearing on all their things. I'm pretty sure. Like anytime they've had those like game things, like there's multiple. Like he's been there. So now like Claudio's here. I imagine we're gonna because Claudio was a big part of Up Up Down Down. So
Claudio
see Claudio
streams on
there.
Twitch too. So
yeah.
And the one big thing for me that makes me the happiest, because I was honestly scared, is that Anna Jay was out there. Because on Dark and Elevation, when she has her matches, she comes out to the Dark Order music still, but she is not doing the hand signal as much. And she doesn't come out in Dark Order colors. Her gear has been very similar to the gear where she first debuted as, where she was like the dancer, where everybody thought it was Katana. Right? Is it Katana? From DC. And it was like because Anna Jay was a dancer. So I don't know. I'm just happy that they're together. I'm excited to see where they go moving forward. And let's give Silver and Reynolds like a legitimate tag team feud, because I'd really, really love to see that.
Oh man.
Speaking of tag teams,
they're so good.
No, go ahead, Kyle.
I was just gonna say Silver and Reynolds are so good as a tag team. Like just if you ever just watch them in the ring,
they're great.
Like they're so good. Their chemistry is unreal. Oh man, they can make a run at the titles, and I wouldn't be mad. But clearly, I don't know what's going on with the tag team rankings because
they're all over the place.
Can we talk about that segment?
The Acclaim. That's where I was going next.
Okay.
So we get the segment. It's a match that was added randomly throughout the card because storyline wise or kayfabe wise, the title matches get like 30-minute time limits. So or hour time limits, whatever. And so obviously the first match was that, and it went shorter because, that's the way it was booked. But so kayfabe wise, they added another match to this card, which me and Jackie immediately were like, Why couldn't this have been a women's match? But that's for another fucking day of complaining. But so we get the Acclaimed and the Ass Boys versus Ruffin It, which is Leon Ruff or whatever his name is here.
Yeah, it's
Ruff.
Leon
It's
Ruff
something
and,
Ruff. And Bear Country.
Bear
and
Country.
Bear Country, yeah, Ruffin It.
Right. But I don't know if his name is Leon Ruff here. It might be like Leo Ruff or something. I don't know. It doesn't matter. But so obviously they lose. But the important thing is the aftermath is the Gun Club, including Billy Gunn, turned on the Acclaimed, which further cements this push of the Acclaimed being super over baby faces. Which
it's the first time I think the Acclaimed came out without a rap.
Most heel move Austin Gunn could have ever done was so his name is Leon Ruffin. All right, thanks, Wade. So the Acclaimed Max Caster doesn't get to rap. We see the most heartbreaking moment ever, which is Anthony Bowens looking up at Billy Gunn like, "Scissor me, daddy ass, please scissor me," and then he turns on
Not
him.
gonna
Gives him
happen.
a famouser.
Yeah,
I was hoping
so
he'd do the
before
suck it there, man. I was like, that would have been a perfect opportunity.
I don't think he's allowed to.
Well, he
really
does
don't
it all
think
the
he's
time in AEW.
He says "suck this."
Oh,
If
well,
you listen to what he
still
says.
does.
But that's besides the point. But then there was some aftermath that we'll talk about it. But before we get to the aftermath part, Jackie, what do you feel about this first section and the Acclaim being baby faces now?
I mean, it seemed like it was heading in that direction for a long time anyway. You know, it's like everybody loves the Acclaimed, I guess.
Except you.
I guess. I am very much behind Anthony Bowens. I love Anthony Bowens. Max Caster, he hasn't grown on me yet. I don't know.
Yeah.
It ain't for me.
Mhm.
It ain't for me. But R.I.P. to Scissor Me Daddy Ass, because that shit popped me every week, and now it's over.
Womp womp.
Short lived.
Yo, so in the chat, Wade is saying the Acclaim became babyface once Caster released the Acclaim theme on streaming platforms. Wade, I was looking for it on Spotify. If you have Spotify, can you please send it to me? Because I couldn't find it and it was driving me crazy.
They only released it on
that beat
Apple
so
Music.
I know. That's the biggest heel move for me.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, they ain't
So
baby faces.
is it just the track now, so you could like spit bars over it? Is
I
that
think
what's
so.
happening?
Well, there's
why
our
I
new
want it.
intro.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Do you think they'll
That's why I
copyright us
want
if
it.
we do that?
Yeah, 100%. Fucking don't even let me not even
AEW
say
hates me.
let's not even say the name of this fucking company because they'll copyright us for that. Everything. Jackie had audio like across the street in another fucking town, and they were like, "Nah, we kind of hear it. Take it off." But Kyle, what do you think of all this? Are you excited? We love the Acclaim.
I know.
Right?
I'm gonna miss this.
Like Jackie.
I'm gonna miss this though.
Miss
Like I'm gonna miss like the whole. Like they work so well, but like I knew like eventually like you have to, because the ass. I'm gonna call them the ass boys. The ass boys were getting sick and tired of every single week, right? Because you know it would get to a boiling point. Clearly, here's the boiling point, and I mean it had to happen because the Acclaim are now ultimate baby faces. They doesn't matter where they get a massive reaction. They can make fun of the crowd and they still get a great reaction. I think they've booked themselves into a great baby face spot. So now obviously is the turn. I really wasn't expecting it, to be honest. I thought that they would just beat the shit out of the ass boys. Then Max Caster would do turn. Yeah, and then Max Caster would do a rap to end the segment. But you know, I still like this direction, and it looks like we'll get a match between those two. Sometime it'll be on Dynamite, I guess. I really don't know what you do.
Maybe it's the go home show to the pay-per-view.
That or like
maybe after that match on the go home show is when they'll announce the tickets.
I wonder if they find like
a week at the lake.
I wonder if they find like a third, not like an actual third member of the Acclaimed, but like maybe like an honorary third member, and they do like a trios match.
That'd be cool. Who would you book it as the third?
I don't know.
Who would you have in mind?
That's a good question.
Danhausen. It would have to
I
be
was gonna
Danhausen.
say it's gotta be Danhausen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because of his stuff with the ass boys.
Yeah. Billy and the Ass Boys. Great song.
Now, what happens after this segment? I want to go to Jackie first, of course.
Oh, was I right, Wade? Hold up. I totally guessed that.
I tried to ignore it.
I totally guessed that, and I was right. It's only on Apple Music.
Man.
Wow. I'll get you the song.
All right, thanks. I'm sure it's on YouTube. Somebody
Yeah.
should put it on YouTube. But so after all of this happens, oh no, this was later on when the Bucks came out.
Yeah, you're in the
Was it
wrong
in this
match.
segment? What?
No,
what?
it was.
After what
It was no. It was during.
Oh,
after
I know what
the
it is.
Swerve and Swerve.
Yeah,
and
so
Keith
we
Lee
get
match.
Swerve and Keith Lee versus Butcher and Blade. The match was fun, right? Butcher and Blade and Bunny. We get to see Bunny back again, which is great.
Yay, Bunny!
Yeah, we're very happy to see the three of them back. I love those three as a team. I think they're awesome. And they're from Buffalo, so not too far from Rochester. So
they're gonna have a big homecoming
that's why they had them on the show.
Post show for All Out. No, that's in Buffalo. So
yeah, that's true in Buffalo. Yeah, which is really cool. Hopefully they're on that show. I'm sure they will be. Tony usually books the hometown people in their hometown. But yeah, so after that match, we get Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobb comes out, and they're yelling at Swerve and Keith Lee, best tag teams, whatever. Then the Bucks come out, and it eventually gets announced that they're doing a triple threat tag match, where it's the Bucks versus Starks and Hobb versus Swerve and Keith Lee. And the interesting thing, and why I want to go to Jackie first, for anybody who maybe didn't catch this week's show, the crowd starts chanting FTR. They will not let the Young Bucks speak. They're chanting incredibly loud and just over and over again, to the point where the Bucks have to acknowledge it just to get through the promo. And like we said, we keep saying this, FTR has been like a year of being number one contenders. Like at this point, it's like, figure out a storyline reason why they aren't facing the Bucks yet, or just give them the Bucks, because it is unbelievable to me. But Jackie, how does it feel that during this Young Bucks promo, that FTR chants just filled that arena so loudly you can hear it on TV?
Serves them right. Serves them right. 4 freaking months at this point of number one contendership. And y'all are going to play us like fools, like we're stupid, like we don't know that it's been 4 months of them being number one contenders, and y'all are still trying to book. But I think at this point now, they're kind of being wise about it. Because if they're going to now start leaning into it, this idea that the Bucks might be running scared from FTR and trying to avoid fighting them and booking themselves into these other scenarios, like, no, we're going to have them yet another freaking 3-way tag match with, teams that are all over different parts of the rankings and stuff like that. It's good. Keep building it up, because I can guarantee
all three of them mentioned that they're the best tag team.
Yeah,
that was done on purpose.
Yeah, it's like, okay, DK the best freaking.
So like they're baiting the crowd at that point.
But yeah, and I'm like, it's smart, because I can guarantee you those chants are going to keep getting louder and louder every time that they keep trying to avoid getting these scenarios of trying to avoid having this match. That if our theories are correct and they're trying to like push this off potentially to All Out or something like that, to have Bucks versus FTR 3 for the AEW tag team titles finally, that shit is gonna blow the roof off of the freaking arena. It's gonna be insane. So yes, now they kind of like book themselves into a scenario where it's wise to kind of play this role of like, no, we're gonna keep trying to like outrun them. Like I'm here for it. Let's freaking go.
But let's think of this, Jackie. Right?
Mm-hmm.
What if I would have told you before FTR signed that FTR and the Bucks would have a match on a pay-per-view for AEW, and the crowd would be overwhelmingly cheering for FTR?
I told you your ass was nuts.
Right? Like, this is the Young Bucks company. Like, anything outside of WWE walls is Young Bucks territory. And now, with great storytelling, they have flipped it so much. And really, an incredible job by FTR to be unbelievable baby faces just on their work ethic and their skill in their ring that got them over as baby faces. Like, it is so cool to me that, like, if this does happen at All Out and it's for all the titles, it's FTR versus Bucks, and FTR is getting cheered. But what do you think, Kyle?
Wait, hold up real quick. I just want to acknowledge what Wade said.
Won't
He said, what if the Bucks cost
Briscoes
FTR
are
the Ring of Honor
Impact
titles?
rostered.
Yeah. That's an interesting point. Okay.
So wait, that's a great idea. I don't think that happens because I don't think
can't.
Briscoes are going to be.
Briscoes are
with
there for a
AEW.
one-time match. Yes, they
Yeah.
are rostered there, Kimmy. Don't yell at me. I know they are signed.
Yeah, even if they're signed in Impact
because
for,
I don't know.
yeah, even if they're signed in Impact for a by show basis or whatever or per show basis, they're not signed to AEW / Ring of Honor. All the champions that are Ring of Honor champions, including Jonathan Gresham, are signed to AEW / Ring of Honor. So like the Briscoes aren't yet. Maybe the Briscoes are going to, and if they do, I'll think of the theory, but
yeah,
I don't know. I think you want the image of FTR with all the belts going against the Young Bucks with the AEW Tag Team Championships. The winner wins all, winner takes all.
Yeah.
You want that.
Hey,
You
that's
want
what I want. That's what I want.
So like
Yeah,
the Bucks
that's-
appeared at the end of the Ring of Honor pay-per-view back in March? April?
In
Yeah.
April.
April. So
Mhm.
I wouldn't put it past them to appear again to set up their all-out match. That's probably where the feud's gonna start. I bet that they'll probably maybe Ring of Honor calls out the Bucks and they answer it. I don't know. I think something's gonna happen there. Them costing them the belts, can't see that happen. I can't see the Briscoes so this pay-per-view it's about a 90% now that Tony Khan's gonna announce the TV deal because he's been talking heavily with Warner Discovery about a TV deal, and he just had an interview where he said he was talking with them for a TV deal. So they're gonna almost certainly announce a TV deal. I can't see the Briscoes going in as the first champions. It's gonna be FTR or the Bucks. Never know, Jackie.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be there for whatever happens, and if the Bucks try to play games, I'll be there in the third row, close enough to jump the guardrail and fight somebody.
So here's the thing: when the TV does start, they're gonna have their champions be over there because as soon as Ring of Honor starts, Tony Khan's not doing the cross thing anymore. He said like he doesn't want AEW affiliated with Ring of Honor. That it's going to be.
That's
its own
why
thing.
I think FTR beats the Bucks. They have the picture of them with all the titles, right? Just like Kenny got the pictures. And then at the first Ring of Honor TV, they lose to whoever the team is in Ring of Honor.
You know who I think
whether that's the Briscoes,
them or if they sign more people. If they don't sign more people, there's no really clear cut. I think you give it to Tully Blanchard Enterprises to run.
Mm-hmm.
You have that Khan guy who just screams like main event masterpiece eventually, and then the other guy, I keep forgetting his damn name.
And speaking of,
oh my god,
not Tonga.
No, oh my god.
Someone's gonna say it in the chat. It's all right.
Somebody's gonna say it.
But listen, I'm warning everybody right now. Okay, my hiatus of fantasy booking Tessa Blanchard's return is back, baby.
Oh no! Stop.
So every Ring of Honor show, I am fantasy, but she's coming out in every. No, she's gonna challenge the winner of Wheeler Yuta and Daniel Garcia. We're booking her for everything.
What?
If she doesn't come out and say publicly apologize or do something, she's not gonna appear anywhere. She's not gonna appear anywhere.
What did you say? Don't look to pro wrestling.
The moral compass.
For the moral compass, baby.
The moral compass is way worse with her. No.
and Poppy. Bully Blanchard coming to Ring of Honor.
No.
The bully is back, baby.
The public reception for her right now is still really bad. I see it all the time. Anytime she's mentioned, she gets destroyed. It's not
anyway,
happening.
She's going to be... Listen, man.
It's not heel destroyed. It's like you're a shitty human being destroyed.
No, 100%, but she's still coming back. Slowly but surely.
No. She might be a Marty Scurll there, my bud. She ain't coming back.
I think Marty will come back eventually, too, sadly enough.
No.
No.
If we're criticizing Fed owner McGee over there, there's no way. I'm not mentioning his name because his name disgusts me right now.
Fed owner McGee.
Yeah. There's no way Marty Scurll comes back. Anyways, moving on.
Yeah, so the next thing I want to talk about. So we get the women's tag match. What a shock. What a shock, Jackie. Are you shocked? At 9:30, we get Toni Storm and Thunder Rosa with their cool name, Thunderstorm versus Nyla Rose and Marina Shafir, who I don't know how she ends up on TV every week. But actually, this match was a lot of fun, and I really did enjoy it. What did you think, Jackie?
From I'm gonna not be a broken record and complain about the stating the obvious. I think it's really cool to see Nyla Rose on my TV. Period. I'm always happy to see Nyla Rose on Dynamite or Rampage. That's the first thing that I'll say. I love that they gave Thunder Rosa and Tony Storm a cool tag team nickname with the Thunderstorm. I dig it. They
came out with a shirt.
They got their T-shirt already. They make a great team. They made great opponents, but they make a great team too. They were very fluid. I liked that. I think it's smart to have Marina with a teammate. She needs the extra assistance at this point. I know that we have been a little hard on her in terms of her going out there solo. Having somebody else to rely on to take a little bit of the heat off of her, especially somebody like Nyla, I think that's the wise way to go. If they're going to try to build her up, okay, have somebody in her corner that is capable and is as beloved as Nyla is. I think that might be a way to go. Do we need to have her on again next week? Not necessarily. But again, I'm like, this was a smart way to transition her, I think.
Mhm.
But the match was good. It was a lot of fun. I would love to see, please, I know we talk about this every week about having more than one women's match. If we could get one singles women's match and one multi-woman match per freaking Dynamite, I think that would be I don't think I'm asking for too much. But just to showcase as many women as possible per episode of Dynamite, I think that would be a great way to do it. I like the
100%.
multi-woman tag matches. That would be a freaking phenomenal way to do it. So please,
You put
somebody
them
out
on
there.
dark before the show. Just move them into the show.
Yes, come on.
Just one match. Looking at this card, and we're gonna glance over it, but Penta Oscuro versus Rush. That you could have moved that to Rampage, and you could have had a women's match in that segment.
Yeah.
Right? That was a great match, and it was a lot of fun, and it was really cool. But it's the cool thing to me, and this is what I said about the way WWE should have booked their women's tag division, and the way it seems like NXT is doing it, and the way that I think the gold standard in the industry for years before anybody else even did it was the way Impact books their women. The tag team division in any company, regardless of gender, is designed not only for people who are legit tag teams, the FTRs of the world, but for people who aren't ready to be single stars yet. You put them in a tag team and they grow. Because maybe Marina's not good enough to have a 20-minute match or a 15-minute match, but she can have a 10-minute match where she's wrestling really only 2 to 3 minutes because she's tagging in and out. And she's working with someone like Nyla, who is, really good in the ring, right? Does a lot of cool stuff in the ring, knows way more than Marina does at this point. It's only going to make Marina look better. And then she's working with someone like a Thunder Rosa or Tony Storm. Let's say eventually they're going to take the title off Thunder Rosa, right? And let's say Tony Storm's not the one to take it off her. This could be a very fun feud to have, similar to the feud we had in December with Ty and Anna against Bunny and Penelope, right? Bunny, Penelope, and Anna Jay aren't the best wrestlers in having long matches at this current point. Even Ty Conti got better, right? We saw at the end of last year, beginning of this year. But it's they killed. That match was great. It was like a 10-minute match, and it was so much fun. And they were able to showcase when, the other one would pick up the slack when the other one fell off. That's why I think it's very important for the women's tag team. But it's and we see people in the chat. So Joker in the chat, what do we think about Paige and Sasha coming in? If we start bringing in bigger stars like this, especially if someone like a Paige ever gets cleared to wrestle, and someone who is a multi-media star like Sasha Banks with being a part of the Star Wars franchise now, you got to give these women more time. Because, there's no way Sasha...
That's not a draw for them. They'll look at the company and be like, why would I come in here if I'm barely going to get any time on TV?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you look at, Sasha left the company, supposedly. We don't know what's going to happen. But if the rumors are true, she left WWE because she wanted more. And, she's not going to make as much money on her AEW contract as she would in WWE, and there's not that many spots. Like, there's no way Sasha Banks is just going to sit in the back. She's going to leave again. She'll leave your company too. So it's like, if we're bringing in these bigger women talent, we have to do that. We have to open it up, more space for the women. And they perform, right? Like, this match was great. You could have had this, and you could have had a Jamie Hayter or whoever wrestle in the other match, kind of building up to see what's going on. I'm sure Britt Baker probably has time off, well-deserved, for being a champ for almost a year and all the stuff she does for the company and stuff. But so Ascended, Paige has been cleared. We'll see, right? We see AEW is getting tougher with their stances on this stuff, because Tony Khan did an interview somewhere and they asked him about Danielson, and he said that Danielson technically is cleared, but when Tony Khan asked him how he was feeling, he said he wasn't feeling well. So he was like, stay home.
He takes CTE like very, very seriously, especially coming from owning a NFL team. Where they take CTE very seriously now. So
I don't know, Paige isn't a CTE thing, but her neck injury is so bad, I don't think they would just throw her out there right away. I mean, I could be wrong, but even then, you're bringing in someone like Saraya, which we got to get used to calling her that. Yeah. You're bringing in Saraya. She's a big star. She's not going to sit in the back every week while you give the same 4 women the segment at 9:30.
She's been asked.
You have to open the show with these.
She's been asked to go to AEW. She said she would love it. Like, she said she would love going there to wrestle or even be like a manager type person. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So like the interest is there. It's just we circle back to, like, do they want to come if they see that there's no time? You know, right? And why is it always the same freaking time zone, or the time stamp between 9:15 and 9:45? Why can't you? I really want to know why you couldn't fit something between 8:30 and 9. Like, what is the reasoning why one match can't fit there for 10 minutes? Yeah. Right there. Even if it's just a throw together match like you put on Dark, you can throw it in there just for people to enjoy, and then for them to have TV time and to work and get experience on TV time. They look fine on Dark. So what's the issue?
Yeah, but Ascended, so you're saying, like, we need more women's storylines. There's actually multiple women's storylines that are happening. And we saw a few months ago, there was like, I think we get like 4 to 5 or 6 of them happening at once. It's just, they're not being showcased on TV like the men's storyline, right? I think, and this may be me as someone who NXT made me fall back in love with wrestling. And I love the thing of, like, for example, if this was NXT, maybe we don't see Christian on this week, right?
Yeah,
maybe it's just a quick backstage promo.
You don't see everything every week.
So you have opportunities to mix people in and out. And, like, the Christian segment was great this week, but did we really need it this week? It could have been next week. Yeah. It could have been on Rampage. It could have been somewhere else, and you could have slotted in a quick women's match, even if it's a squash match. How many squash matches did Wardlow get? Let me get Jamie Hayter versus Sky Blue if she's cleared, if she's healthy, out there. Let me get Jamie Hayter versus Diamante. Has Diamante ever been on Dynamite? Or now, we're getting this stuff with the baddies backstage. Like, do that in the ring. Like, let Jade get a microphone in front of a crowd. People love her. People, like, are so attached to this Jade stuff. And hey, we've said this before, she's a TBS champion. Dynamite's on TBS. Like, can she do something in the ring on Wednesdays? Like, give Kiera Hogan a match. It should have been Kiera Hogan and Layla Gray versus 2 people, and you could have did something else with Tony, Thunder, Nyla, and Marina. Like, stuff like that where you're mixing it up, right? Another thing that they kind of showed and alluded to, they showed a promo of Ty, and Ruby's feud continuing, right? We saw Eddie Kingston cut a promo in the ring, and that led to ultimately at the end being that Eddie still wants to fight Jericho, and Ty injures Ruby. Like, all right, there's a woman's storyline, but let's not stop here.
I think it's going to lead to a mixed tag match. That's my guess.
Hopefully, right? Which is cool, but like, listen, I'm the guy with the tie shirt. You see the tie stuff. Yeah. Like, I get it. I'm the tie.
I think we'll still get that. Like, we're still going to get one.
She's a wrestler. I want to see her wrestle.
Yeah, but I think we're going to get also a mixed tag match. Eddie and Ty against, or not Eddie and Ty. Eddie and Ruby against Ty and Jericho. Or maybe Jericho ducks out. Sammy. Yeah, maybe Jericho ducks out and Sammy takes the place. Yeah.
It's possible. Well, listen, there's a lot of stuff that could be happening. We see, like, Mercedes and Serena have a tag match this week on Rampage. So there's a lot of good stuff coming. But the one last thing that I want to talk about, because the Penta Roosh stuff, if you guys want to talk about, I mean, it was a cool match, but it's all right. Like it's nothing that's really like shocked the world. They ended the match.
Yeah.
Again, which is like, all right.
I expected a little more from that. I will say that you could see that at some points, Penta seemed to be like fussing with his mask a lot. And I'm like, it felt like he was slightly distracted throughout a lot of the match. And I'm like, it felt like it took something away. I don't know. Like that match, I went into it with some high expectations. Maybe that was the problem. I went into it like expecting to a little more than what I got out of it. It wasn't a bad match. It just wasn't. It didn't blow me away.
Yep, same. I can't hear you, Phil. Phil, I can't hear you.
I was the one with the mute mic
this week. You muted this week. It wasn't me.
No, but so
it wasn't.
It was a cool match between Penta and Roosh, but nothing too crazy. But the main event now, we got Moxley versus Brody King, and an excellent main event. I love that they gave Brody King this moment to kind of go out there and have this banger match with Moxley. We saw the stuff kind of teasing with Malachi and maybe potentially the rumor Malachi versus Moxley at All Out if Punk isn't cleared. So let's see. But Kyle, what do you think of this main event and what it may mean going forward with the House of Black versus Blackpool Combat Club?
This is a really good match. I think that's where it's going to end. I think we're going to get BCC versus House of Black.
JAS.
The thing
House of Black
is what. Okay, so for anyone that had Fight TV, it was watching W Fight TV. They didn't cut the feed. Mm-hmm. They literally kept showing like the ring getting set up, and then started showing Rampage.
Yeah.
So, they showed Brody walking up the ring and Malachi coming to consult him, but then Darby and Sting came out, and Darby had a stare down with Brody, and like Brody was like Darby was like saying something to Brody, and then Malachi Black took him in and went down the tunnel. So like they teased something really interesting there. I don't know what that's all about.
Also, Ascended, thank you for reminding me. Like, I knew we forgot something, or I forgot something. So we get the Malachi promo where they're teasing Malachi versus Miro in the short term. That's cool. Yeah. That's incredible, right? And now, like you said, Darby, there's like 3 or 4 feuds kind of being set up. So it's, this is what we wanted, House of Black fans, right? We wanted more of the House of Black on TV. I wish we would have got to see Julia. I don't know what's up with that. But like we're seeing it kind of spread, and they're going, Brody King with Darby and Malachi with Miro, potentially even Moxley. So I don't know. I'm excited for it. What do you think
really
about?
Cool.
The Julia's, I want to buy it.
Yeah, that looks really cool.
But Jackie, what do you think of the main event and all the other stuff surrounding House of Black?
The main event was really good. I was really happy to see that Brody King was their choice of the winner for the Royal Rampage match, because when it was the finals and it was Brody and Darby, I was like, are they going to go Darby here again? And it would have, not that I have anything against Darby personally, but it would have felt like the lazy way to go, because Darby already has so much history with getting these opportunities and being somebody who they've pushed a lot in the past. So I'm like, okay, is this going to be Brody's moment? And they went with it. The way that he ended up taking that win was so epic, with him like dangling freaking Darby, choking him out and then dropping him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, brilliant. Let's freaking go. So I like also how Mox plays into the adaptation role very well, because there's not a lot of guys that are physically bigger than Mox. Because Mox is a freaking huge dude. Like sometimes I forget, and then I've been like near him in vicinity. I'm like, yo, Mox is freaking like, he's a huge guy.
It's a WWE aspect of it, because everybody is so fucking big there.
Yes.
Like obviously Moxley is smaller than Roman Reigns, but like Moxley and Rollins are still big themselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
he's a huge dude. So like to see Brody King next to him, and Brody King is like kind of like dwarfing him in size. So it's like he has to the pace of the match gets really slowed down. It's more methodical. But to see somebody that's like bigger than him, more intimidating than him, it's like he plays the role very well. So the whole thing gets flipped. I love having Regal on commentary. That's like always a nice touch
so
too.
good.
It adds so much color to the overall match. He's such a great storyteller. Like he just makes everything
That just
feel
shows,
so
like,
much more epic and important.
That signing that they like, that just shows like that's a massive, that's been like a big signing for them. Like to bring Regal in and into the role that he's played has been absolutely fantastic, and he fits it so well.
He's been perfect.
And also with Regal, real quick, I think it was when Moxley did his interview with Renee, right, Jackie, where Moxley talks about how Regal works out before every Dynamite.
What?
He's in the ring with people. Like he's in the ring.
Okay.
Not like works out. But he's like in the ring. He's in the ring with like Danielson and literally anybody who wants to get in the ring. You're open to learn from him. And if you're there and you want to roll around with him, like he's teaching these kids, before every Dynamite every week. So I think that's really cool. That's another huge reason why you bring in Regal.
Yeah, I mean, he plays the role very well. But overall, like I think it was a great moment for Brody King to get his time to shine. And I have been politely asking for BCC versus House of Black for quite some time now. So if this is going to be a lead-in for a potential feud, even though they're teasing the stuff with the Miro and stuff like that, but I'm like, can we please just get BCC versus House of Black? Like, just give me a little, give me a taste.
Give me a taste.
Of this feud. Give me a taste.
Speaking of that,
very quickly.
Thank you, Jackie. Thank you, Jackie. And this will be this. I want to end the show on this. So we have said, for anybody listening, and the people here live with us, thank you very much. We've been saying this for like a year now. You guys need to watch as much of the content as you can because it only strengthens the product on TV.
Oh, yeah.
The road twos, the countdowns, all these things. So on the road to Dynamite this week, we get Matt Menard, Daddy Magic, cutting one of the best promos you're going to hear all year.
Oh.
After the Blood and Guts match, they interviewed him and Angelo Parker. And shout out to Angelo Parker.
His was good,
because he's not getting enough love for the promo that he gave because his promo was excellent, too.
Yeah.
But Daddy Magic, man, holy shit. Right? Another Canadian, Kyle. Another one of your Canadian brothers.
Bringing up, like, personal shit. Like...
seeing his son, like, I missed my kid walking for the first time because I was here and all this stuff. And it's just like... And it's similar to the Regal promo, right? Where they cut that Regal promo on Countdown to one or Road to something.
Yeah.
And then they ended up putting it on TV. And they did the same thing with the Matt Menard promo. And it's just like... But Kyle, talk about it, man. Because that promo was just like... top tier.
It was intense. Like I didn't think he was gonna go that hard into the promo, but like when he started mentioning like the part where like he missed his kid's first episode because I was here bleeding and wrestling with the shit, and like you can feel it. And like the one thing I took out of it too, if you watch it, like you look at the people in the background, just like they were like, what the fuck's going on? Like they were just shocked. Like, oh man, if this is what, like, they're going to be a very, very underrated signing. If they can, if this continues to push them eventually past the JAS, if not, Jericho's just going to say, no, you're staying here to put my group over. But like eventually they can, maybe they're great. This shows that they can cut serious promos. We know that they're decent in ring. They have the comedic factor behind them when they are doing those. You guys are going to have to go back and find out which BTEs they were, but they were doing these skits on BTE for a couple of weeks where they're doing like their own little show, like their own little talk show, and like half the time they're just making fun of Renee Young or Renee Paquette. So like, and they were so funny. They were so good. So they have literally almost a complete package as a tag team, and I can't believe that they were ever let go from NXT, man. This just shows that they got a gold signing with those two. And he just proved it there.
They're must-see TV.
Yeah.
They are must-see TV. And, like, I get it. It's a lot of stuff, especially if you still watch WWE or if you're watching Impact or New Japan. It's a lot of stuff. But honestly, if you see anything that involves 2.0, you need to watch their stuff because they are must-see TV any chance they get. They're either going to make you laugh or they're going to make you feel.
Yeah.
Right? And they're great wrestlers on top of that. And just, man. But Jackie, what did you think of the promo?
I think that anytime that you draw from real life situations, that's where the magic happens. No pun intended. No, I think that's
So where does the daddy magic happen?
That's
Is that during Wardlow?
That's literal daddy magic. He's talking about his kid. He's talking about like,
you took it that way. I was taking it.
No,
I was saying,
no,
does
no,
that
no,
happen
no.
in Wardlow matches? That's daddy magic.
You're not taking. I see what you did there, but no, we're not going in that direction. No, I think that the two of them, Angelo and Kyle's like popping the whole time. They have really taken this opportunity that they've been given and they have run with it, and it's a really great thing to see because obviously, you know, they were let go from the other place, as I like to refer to it, and
I like it.
you know, they came in and, you know, maybe people didn't have a whole lot of faith in where they were going to go with, you know, with this new opportunity. But I think that they have really ran with it and made the most of it. That promo made you feel a lot of emotions and it's very real. It's very gritty. You have a man who's literally his face is completely covered in blood, just went through a war, and he's talking about real life shit. And it's stuff that a lot of people can relate to. And it's the side of pro wrestling that a lot of people forget. We get so caught up in the lights and the production and the show and stuff like that, and we forget that there are real people behind these characters, and you know, they sacrifice a lot. They, you know, they put their bodies on the line. They're injured, they're hurt, they're on the road, and they're doing all of this, you know, to entertain us, and they're missing out on a lot of their real life stuff. So it's like, you know, for him to kind of expose that and let us see that, it really felt impactful, and I think that's a turning point for him, and I really hope that they continue to kind of like, you know, drive that point home, and you know, and give us a little more of a taste of that daddy magic. I pop for that shit every time. I do that every damn week. I'll do it. But
the cool thing to think about is, so
taste.
As you know, as us being wrestling fans for a long time, we heard a lot about like the car that used to travel of Edge, Christian, and Rhino, right? To think that back in the day, traveling all over Canada was Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and 2.0. Those four guys traveled the road together. That is unbelievable that much talent was in that car going from town to town. Insane. All Canadians, Kyle. How proud are you?
Oh, so proud. So proud. Can't wait for AW to come up here because there's going to be a massive homecoming for like half the roster.
Yeah, right. That is so true. That is so true. They've waited so long that they're starting to move to America.
Like that first Canada show is going to be huge because from what I gathered, that Blood and Guts show, it was like half Canadian crowd because it was everyone from Ontario going down because that's the closest AW's ever been to Ontario.
Oh,
so like travel wise, like I could have went. It would have been 2.5 hour drive for me.
Yeah.
So
you should have went.
Saving my energy.
So tired. Yeah.
I'm saving my energy.
Saving it for all out.
For everything for all out.
When you're gonna get that text message
when
from
I bring
me
this
and Jackie
giant board here. Yeah, when I bring this giant board here and we sit in a room drinking and we're recording our shenanigans and I have to heavily edit it for like an hour after.
Say when he has to censor everything and we can't use any of the audio.
This is exactly. We're gonna end the show exactly how we started it. This is how they're gonna announce the tickets. It's gonna be a Tony Khan tweet at like 3 a.m. And for some reason we're gonna be texting Kyle. Kyle, tickets go on sale in 15 minutes, bro. We need you. Kyle's gonna be like, what? What? I'm still on Stranger Things season 3. What are you talking about?
I finished it, all right? You can't make that joke anymore. I finished it.
What are you talking about? Man, part 1 was great. Kyle's like, yo, did you hear about this movie Thor: The Dark World? Bro, it's new. I think it just came out.
I think Natalie Portman's in it.
Yeah, dude.
Was she in Star Wars?
Yo,
Say, did you know she was in the prequels?
my gift to everybody, if you don't know. So the guy who directed the Thor movie, Ragnarok, and now Love and Thunder, Taika Waititi, is doing a Star Wars movie of his own, possibly a trilogy. And he asked Natalie Portman on set if she wants to be in his new Star Wars movie. And she was like, bro, I was in one already. I was in 3. What? It was fucking Padme. I'm like the third most important character in the entire trilogy that I was in. Like, what the fuck? I was the big 3, right?
Yep.
But enough of that. So this is what you guys have to look forward to on Rampage this week. You got Eddie Kingston versus Soup.
Tonight.
Oh, yeah, tonight. You're right. I forgot today's Friday. So Eddie Kingston versus Soup, because I'm not butchering this guy's name. Carrie told me to just say Soup when we talk about him.
Konosuke Takeshita.
Yeah, like you said. We get Mercedes and Serena Deeb versus 2 women. I'm guessing it's got to be the Joshis, because who was it? Was it Emi Sakura? 2 of them posted. Somebody posted that they were backstage.
Oh, come on. Get it together.
So, and then we have
wait till Friday
5-star, 5-star Orange Cassidy, which I'm calling him forever now, versus Tony Nese, which should be a lot of fun. And then Lee Moriarty and Jonathan Gresham versus the Gates of Agony, which is going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to see that.
Yeah, I'm obsessed with his theme song. I'm so happy that they brought Jane in, and that crowd reaction he got last week at Blood and Guts was insane. As soon as like the song broke in, because like that was like all his indie. Because from all the indie footage I watched on Orange Cassidy when he was using that theme song, anytime he would come out of the curtain when that song would drop at the right moment, the crowd then went nuts. So like, I hope that is a continued trend. Yeah, it's such a cool theme song. It's so good. I can't wait.
And then as a reminder, next week, randomly announced, none of us knew this was coming, but next week's Dynamite is Fyter Fest, is night 1 of Fyter Fest. And so far...
Is it now?
Yeah. We have Claudio versus Hager, which is cool. They had a little segment during the show this week, which is fun. It's whatever. The We the People stuff. Yeah, let's get through it and get past it. None of us really like Jake Hager.
That's probably what they're doing, to be honest.
The OG crouton. That's literally how that freaking saying got birthed.
And then we have the match we mentioned earlier, Young Bucks versus Keith Lee and Swerve versus Starks and Hobbs for the Tag Team Championship, which will probably end with some shenanigans. So that should be a lot of fun. But thank you guys for listening. Jackie, let everybody know where they can follow you.
You can follow me on Twitter at LoveYouMake24, and you can find me on Instagram at JacksTheDraw POV.
Let them know where they can follow you and everything that's going on with AWF.
Well, you guys can follow me at All Elite Kyle if you want, right there. I had a pretty popular tweet today, and I meant everything I said in that tweet. So, and I'm pretty sure everyone did too. I basically said, if you are one of those people that are brushing off the Vince McMahon stuff, you were part of the problem.
Yep. 100%.
So, anyways, you guys can follow me there. You guys can follow the EFED stuff I do. It's really fun, really cool thing. If you guys keep hearing us talk about it like a broken record, well, then you have to come over and watch it for yourself, because it is the funnest thing ever. These 2 have characters in it. They both cut promos, probably in the best promo class that we have. These 2 are unreal at it. But it's so much fun, guys, and that's the Alliance Wrestling Federation. You can find us on Twitch, twitch.tv/Alliance Wrestling Fed. We actually have a YouTube channel, and something is debuting. Actually debuted today at 7 o'clock. I'm going to go back and watch it. We actually have our developmental brand called NSFW. It does not stand for Not Safe for Work.
Yeah. It
stands for North South Florida Wrestling. And we went nuts with the team at AWF. They're amazing. They went two people from our team really killed it. CJ and Lane, they went and made it for us, and they made all the characters, and they're commentating it. It's all like with hick accents, and it's going to be unreal. Like the world champion is called like Gary the Gator Granderson. And there's just we're gonna have a Raymond Mysterious, and like there's just Justin Justice. Like there's just a bunch of like funny, hilarious named characters in that, and it's gonna be like our quote unquote developmental brand. But it's only a YouTube show, So the episodes will be posted on YouTube for you guys to watch. It's up there now. So if you go on YouTube, type in Alliance Wrestling Federation, you'll find it and take a watch. I haven't seen it yet, so I can't vouch too much right now on it. I don't know.
It's going to be awesome. Everything AWF does is awesome.
Yeah.
So, and you guys have to make sure you watch it.
So yeah, we got that going on.
And the one thing, speaking of YouTube, head booker Carrie herself just texted me. So on Tuesday on Dark on YouTube for AEW, they are showing a match that's being taped, and it's Pac versus Shooter or Shada, Moxley's young
Shooter,
boy.
Yeah.
What's his name?
So
Shooter.
Yeah, isn't that the Red Shoes' son? Pretty sure.
Yeah. So Pac versus Shooter at Rev Pro. They're wrestling for the All Atlantic Championship. They're recording it and they're showing it on Dark.
No way.
Hey.
Yep.
That's
Here's
sick.
the picture. That
I knew they were facing each other, but that's sick. They're gonna show it on.
Yep.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Which this is why they give the championship to Pac. And for one quick thing is on Unrestricted last week, it was just Aubrey and Tony, and they were kind of talking about AEW and a bunch of stuff. And Aubrey did mention that what Pac does is, because his wife still is in wherever he lives in the UK, he comes over here for like a few weeks at a time. Like he'll come here for like 3 weeks and then fly home.
So his visa issues aren't technically cleared yet.
Yeah. So what I think the cool thing is that if he's a champion, he gets to defend it over there.
Yeah.
They'll record it and we'll still get to see it, which I think will be a lot of fun.
That's also cool too, because that brings, in a way, that brings AEW to the UK people who are still like, they can't wait for the day that they finally get an AEW show. And when they do, it's going to be insane. But that's a way that they get a little, quote Matt Menard, little taste of AEW.
Get a little taste. But thank you guys for listening to us this week. If you want to follow us on Twitter, it's at Elite POV, on Instagram, Elite POV. Don't end the show yet, Kyle.
We're not done yet.
Don't end the show yet, Kyle.
False finish. False finish.
False finish. So TikTok, Elite POV clips. Yeah, two. Patreon.com/Elite POV. We appreciate all the support you guys have given us. And we appreciate all the people that are going to support us in the future. ElitePOVmerch.com. Make sure you go up there and get some of our great designs. And yeah, YouTube.com/ElitePOV. If you guys missed this live, the replays will be up there and all over podcasts everywhere. We're everywhere, right? Follow us. We're everywhere. If you're going to the Lowell, Massachusetts show for Ring of Honor, Jackie would be there. Say hi from a respectable distance, please. Don't make me go there and start swinging on people. Okay?
Don't lick her.
Be nice. Be respectful.
What?
Cass and Dax
Kyle.
will jump the barricade and whoop your ass. But thank you guys for listening to Elite POV. And remember, I keep forgetting to make a new ending catchphrase. You don't need that to be a cowboy. Thanks.